Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is the Mental Wellness channel with Waihiga. If you're new here, I hope that you stick around and take a listen to what I have to share. Today, I want to talk about the people that do not recover from alcoholism. So let's get into it. The people that do not recover from alcoholism are people that are institutionally incapable of being honest with themselves or others. That is a quote from the big book that we use in the program, the 12-step program to get sober. Recently I just saw yesterday that someone who was afflicted with this disease passed away. Someone that I had seen struggle with this disease 2018, 2019. They just passed away, they died. It just brought home the sense of urgency and the sense of how real alcoholism is as a disease. It will take you out. It is a disease of addiction. The disease of addiction, the disease of alcoholism is something that you cannot play around with. And if you are out there as an addict or an alcoholic that is still using, there are three places that we are promised: jails, institutions, and death, if we do not recover. So the people that do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to the simple program of this 12-step program. It's a simple program, but it's a really difficult program in that it is not easy to do. It is not easy to do at all, the people that do not recover. So the types of people that I've seen that have not recovered from alcoholism are people that are extremely rich and people that are extremely smart. Intellectuals and people who have access to a lot of money are people who often, more times than not, do not recover from alcoholism or addiction. And this is because they believe that they have no need for God. They believe that they have no need for help. They have no need for a sense of help. Their money, after all, will save them, or their mindset will save them. And that mindset almost got the better of me. It took me so long in denial to come to a point of, okay, my life is messed up and it's really because of the drinking to begin with, and I actually need help. It took me so long, it took me years to get to that point because I had 1,001% confidence and faith in my thinking. I believed in my intellect, so much so that I believed I did not have a problem with alcohol. I believed I was so smart that I could outsmart alcoholism, that I could outsmart addiction, that there's no ways that thing could have gotten the better of me, because after all, I'm educated, I went to school, my life wasn't supposed to go like this. A lot of people who are addicts and alcoholics also think like this. A lot of rich people think like this as well. I'm too rich for this mess. I'm too up there in life. I'm too prominent to be struggling like this. Like, it is so way out of their realm of problems to consider that they might actually be an alcoholic or be an addict, because it's like you're up there as a prestigious rich person and you're looking down at what it means to be an alcoholic or an addict. It means that you've been defeated by something. It means that you've been defeated. And to admit that to your innermost self is something that I see rich people and I see intelligent people struggling with a lot. So the smarter you are, the richer you are, the more likely it is that you are going to have a very hard time accepting that you have a problem with alcohol and drugs or drugs. And the more likely it is that you're going to have a hard time getting into recovery and seeing the need for having God in your life. The 12-step program is a program of action, and it's a program of surrendering daily to God. If you don't surrender daily to God, it means you're taking back your life. You're taking back your life into your own hands. And that type of thinking is the type of thinking that got me into a 12-step program to begin with. So what good am I thinking on my own? Thinking my life out? Clearly, I'm no good at it. The whole point of recovery is to teach me to turn my will and my life over to the care of God, and to teach me how to trust in God every day, each hour of every day, and to trust in the steps that He gives me to take. It's not like God lights the whole path of the whole journey of my whole life and says, Waihiga, this is how it's going to be. your whole life is going to be like this. No, God just lights the steps for today. And the trust and the faith that I have is I should take the next steps and know that I will not fall, and know that God will catch me, and know that God will be with me. Even if I stumble, even if I stagger, that is part of the journey, and that God wanted that to happen, and that this is his part of his will for my life, and that now I am walking in God's will for my life. And part of God's will for my life is for me to be sober. How I am sober is by doing the 12 steps of recovery over and over and over again. It's something that is continuous. It's something that I don't graduate from. If you are a person that does not see the need for God, if you are a person that does not see the need for humility, if you are a person that does not see the need for help, how are you going to humble yourself, take direction from God, take direction from sponsors, take direction from other people who have been sober longer than you, and take suggestions from them and do exactly as they say in order to stay sober? Another type of person that does not recover is a person who hasn't accepted the amount of pain or processed the amount of pain that comes with the journey. Like, I understand we have different thresholds of pain, but every alcoholic and every addict can tell you that to get to rock bottom, it takes a certain amount of pain. And each person can stop digging the hole wherever they want to. And what I mean by that is, when the pain is too much, when the pain is great enough for me, I can stop right here and surrender to God and say, you know what, I'm done. I don't know what I'm doing anymore in my life. But there are people who will not take the clarity or the time or the space, process and understand and accept the pain that is happening to them and the pain that they are experiencing in their journey at that particular moment. They will not take the time to process that pain. And the point is, the pain is supposed to be determination to give you the desperation in order to change your life for the better. The pain is supposed to give you the desperation in order to do the work in the 12-step program, to give you the motivation to stay sober, to do the work to stay sober, because it does take work to stay sober. What I see is other people take the pain and they use it to fuel the self-pity, and they use it to fuel the childhood trauma, and they use it to just fuel the victim mentality that they may have. And it gets to a point where you completely lose that person. So I just wanted to talk briefly about the types of people that do not recover from addiction and alcoholism. It is really, really sad to watch someone just drift away. And unfortunately, recovery is not a program, and it's not a gift, and it's not something that you can literally hand over to someone. It is a gift from God, and it is a moment of clarity, really, that only you as a person can decide and say, I've had enough pain. I've had enough experiences with this drug or this alcohol, or life has humbled me enough to say that I don't know, and God knows that I don't know, and I need help. So if you are struggling with alcohol or drugs, if you identify with my story, I would urge you to go into Google right now, check a 12-step program, look for a 12-step meeting right now in your local area. Look for an online meeting, look for a face-to-face 12-step program meeting, and get into the program of recovery. Start living your life. Until the next video, goodbye.